She's been intimate with Jared. It's a big reveal.
Coming up on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City after show.
You're recording us?
Everyone was making the worst assumptions about me.
She was fully recording, and she was doing it in a morally superior way.
And I know she was filming us because I caught her filming earlier.
I did not record the fight. Then that's it. Then show us the video.
She denied it just like she denied watching the show.
And this is not a flex, but it was known that I didn't have time to watch the show.
I think that's false because she had someone's confessional photos in her phone.
You need to leave. I've had enough of you.
We got each other coffees in the morning. We both loved to read the news in the morning, and I felt like we had each other's backs.
Who wants to be on a girls' trip where everyone hates you?
Why would I not start to question if you put something in my room at this point?
This is worse than the bathtub.
Did you bug my room?
You know what? I was tempted.
The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City after show starts now.
Let's move on to the Sprinter van.
Oh, God. You clocked that.
Wait, really quick. Brittany, why are you recording the conversation?
The Sprinter, I'm going to get emotional because that was probably one of the worst experiences of my entire life.
I did not record the fight. Then that's it. Then show us the video, you psycho.
I mean, if anyone had any proof that I had done anything to hurt anyone on purpose, that would be one thing, thanks.
You're welcome.
But no one did. Everyone was making the worst assumptions about me.
I mean, Brittany could tell me till the day she dies that she wasn't recording us. She was recording us. And she had been before that.
And I know she was filming us because I caught her filming earlier. She was filming us walk through the airport and she sent it off to a group of friends.
Brittany, love you. She was fully recording, and she was doing it in a morally superior way, going, look at these crazy bitches. Some of her going like, oh, these crazy, ah, and then some just of the seat.
Oh, I didn't see the one of us crazy.
Yeah, she was just going like.
But what is insanely just mind-blowing to me is after the Sprinter van, she did record me, and I did catch her doing that.
What did she record you doing?
We were on little golf carts, and she was going like this, videoing herself, and I went like this, and she goes, it's just my outfit. And I was like, okay. And then she starts texting it, and I look over, and it is just a video of me. Brittany is not even in it whatsoever.
And I feel like she had more, and then she went into her delete, and then her delete. Like, you have to really be savvy on a phone to go to your deletes.
None of her excuses were landing.
Oh my gosh, you guys, it's an accident. No, that was not an accident. Who are you going to send that to? No one. We're saving them for later. Gosh, she just got 100% on her mouth test. No, am I under a test?
I was texting my daughter, Olivia, which is, you know, like I'm still trying to just barely hold on to any form of a relationship with her.
I have totally sacrificed my kids for a man.
And she told me she got 100% on a math test. That's great. So I'm like, oh, I should be taking videos like everyone's taking videos. So I'm like, and I was on her, so I started to push record. You know how you can send someone a direct video? And I'm like, oh, that's probably a bad idea. So I went to the camera, but it, you know, I started to take a video, but it was facing forward. So ended that. That was probably a 1.5 second. And then I switched the camera to me. Then I started to take a video, like, peace, you know, and then all of a sudden Angie was over my shoulder. Are you recording us? I was like, and then all of a sudden everyone's screaming at me.
It was not to send her daughter a congratulatory note. It was not to remember this beautiful time in Puerto Vallarta together. It was to have something on all of us.
She was going to send it to her friends to kind of poke fun at us, to show that, like, she was peripheral to the fray, that she wasn't in the muck with the rest of us, and that is simply insulting and untrue.
By the way, that's the most optimistic view on it.
Okay. Well, tell me the pessimistic view.
The sinister side of it is she's recording to use it against us in some way, shape, or form.
Which is what we've experienced in our life before.
I mean, I went from just like, oh, I'm going to sneak in a little selfie video in the van because I don't really care about what's going on. I don't even know what they're talking about, to,
Brittany, you need to leave.
Well, it was like, give an explanation. You let us look through your phone. Like, there's nothing on there. So, like, we looked at text messages with you and Jared. We looked at messages with you and your kids. Like, no one could delete it that fast. For me, I was like, I'm resolved. But I mean, it's a lot based on what we've experienced.
Which I get. For someone that didn't watch the show until after we filmed, I seriously, I had no idea.
And like, if you didn't live it, like, you know, Homeland Security showing up, the FBI, it's no excuse.
That's a lot.
You're a different person. It's no excuse, but like, I think we're all like triggered.
I know that people are going to say, you've already put yourself on a reality TV show, there's other cameras, you're wearing a microphone. It's about consent for me. I've allowed Bravo into my home. I did not consent to Britney having a recording of Lisa and I fighting over whether or not she believes my husband had an emotional affair and that I shared it with you guys. That is completely up, that she would be in possession of that material. And she does not understand that.
And then even when we were in the ATVs later and we were sitting there and she said, so I just really want to get the rules of recording because I saw you make a cute video with Angie and that's fine. But and I was like, yeah, like the back of a velour chair of us fighting.
Please just tell the truth and say you were recording and apologize and own up to it because nobody's recording the back seat of a velour chair. And that's
No
what
one's
it
recording
was.
the inside of a Sprinter van.
It's like, oh, I want to buy this fabric to reupholster my chair.
What kind of nub is this?
Like, obviously.
What is this thread count?
There is an intent there. I don't see her as someone terribly malicious, but it's still unsettling either way.
She's like, I want to just say this. I just want to say this to the group, and this is my problem. My problem is I am sleeping with Jared, and I told all you I wasn't.
The one thing I have not been truthful about is that Jared and I, we do have a physical relationship.
Girl.
Everything I know about Jared Osmond is against my will, let alone the two of them naked together.
I
It's against my will. I want less information.
She's been intimate with Jared. It's a big reveal.
I'm like, girl, we already knew.
You know, if we are going to discuss our friend's sex life, I would prefer if we don't use the term intimate because it kind of creeps me out.
From now on, can we just say Mormon sex, please?
Mormon sex.
Because then I have the vision of Twister.
A lot of things can happen unintentionally. You know what I mean?
I
Just
understand.
like if you're playing Twister, then you have Twister with, you know, the right hand on his blue circle.
I thought she was going to admit that she wasn't really who she said. I mean, I lived through
But
Bermuda
the
reality
idea,
TV. Do you
you guys
remember
have
her
had a very,
setting it
yes,
up?
you guys have had a really hard time, but I'm just saying, to get out of being called a liar
Let's be clear, you are a liar.
by admitting that you've been lying about these huge things is the oddest rationale I have ever had anybody bring to me.
It was not even on topic. It was like, what in the world?
How is this relevant right now?
Why are we talking about your sex
She's like,
life?
that's what it is. I want to tell you guys the truth. No, you need to be truth to the men upstairs, not to us. We don't even care.
No, we didn't.
I
We
don't.
didn't want to know.
I think just the fact that I had told a lie.
We are not sleeping together.
I could have just as easily said, that's nobody's business, rather than say, no, we haven't slept together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it doesn't
Like,
matter if you did or didn't, Brittany. It really doesn't matter. It's your personal
I
life.
appreciate that, but the veracity of what I say is really important to me. I want to be truthful, and that was the one thing that I hadn't been truthful, and I kept being like, gosh, why did I have to just like throw out? I mean, it's not who I am to say something that isn't true.
Yeah.
If I say it, it's true.
So that's why I
So
probably
that's
fell
why
off to
that's
you.
why I had to come clean. I can't throw out something that isn't true. In fact, every time I would say that, I'd be like,
My boyfriend and I are not sleeping together.
you know what I mean? Like I'm a terrible liar. I would start to twitch. So
Wait,
I
what's
don't
your
know.
sign again? I can't
Gemini.
remember. Gemini? Oh, that's why. That's my best sign match.
Is it really?
Gemini and Libra and Leo are my two best.
It was like a total deflection.
When we all get frustrated with her for recording us,
But Brittany, why are you recording the conversation? I was trying to delete and then delete.
her way out of it is to say, well, I'm under all this stress because I'm living a double life.
I've got two brothers that are bishops, and I've got nieces galore that look up to me.
Well, no one's making her live that double life. Woman up and choose the life you want and confidently go forward in that direction and stop emotionally vomiting on all of us because you're not doing what you want to do.
It's a weird way to fit
I don't
in.
love it. No,
Yeah, it's
I
a
don't.
weird way to get attention
And it felt
and
like
fit
a
in.
way to deflect from the fact that she has really stepped in it with all of us many times.
But I was there. I grew up poor, and so I felt like,
Why was I poor? I didn't say that.
Are you attracted to him?
Am I physically attracted to my husband?
And when
I'm
I
so
want you to
happy
be in a
that
suite,
I'm with
I
you
said to
guys.
Whitney, I'm like,
No offense.
Angie goes on one
That's
end, Bronwyn
offensive.
goes on the other end. They
Maybe,
can choose.
And I do feel sorry for someone who feels constrained by religious slut shaming, sex shaming, body issues, whatever. I do, but I don't actually I'll just say it. I don't actually believe that Britney really feels that way. I believe that she said it in this moment to gain some sympathy or deflect from what had happened. And everybody else at the table might be believing it, but it's not for me.
And you're like, oh, you're recording us.
Yeah.
But she denied it.
Brittany, why are you recording the conversation? Turn your phone off.
The conversation.
Yeah,
I'm
you
sending
are.
a video to Olivia.
Just like she denied watching the show.
For someone that didn't watch the show until after we filmed, I seriously, I had no idea. I think it's known, and this is not a flex, but it was known that I didn't have time to watch the show before I did the show. I regret not knowing what I was signing up for, but on the other hand, I didn't have any pretense.
I think that's false because
We watched her watch it on the plane.
yeah, and she had someone's confessional photos in her phone because she wanted
Meredith.
her hair like that.
Yeah.
I had not watched, sadly, I'm so sorry, please forgive me, Andy, but I hadn't watched any of the franchises.
I think it's 100% true.
She had showed me pictures on her phone that she had of you guys from your Instagrams from previous seasons.
Now I've watched the show, and there's so many things that I would have done differently. But you know what? You know, it is what it is, and I really, really, really loved the experience, and I really loved the ladies, some more than others.
Yeah. I'm just going to speak on behalf of the culture of Utah. There is kind of a stigma about watching shows like this or consuming any sort of media that is deemed, you know, less than. Growing up, we weren't allowed to watch rated R movies.
documentaries.
Yeah, like you're just
about the
elevating
history
your
of the
spirit
US.
and your mind. Yeah, like we weren't allowed to watch rated R movies. That's kind of a thing in the church. And so, like, I think that a lot of Housewives television is considered rated R. So there might be something just culturally with Britney being like, no, you know, like, I don't engage. It's a moral stand more than it is like a strategic move. It's just like, I don't watch that, you know.
That might be true.
That's kind of what I've experienced in the culture. So I think Britney is a great example of a lot of Utah culture, which we saw in kind of some weird things throughout the season.